In this video, we're going to quickly take a look at a few chart analyses to get us prepared for the week ahead. If you love the content, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're interested in learning trade forex from scratch like a professional, check out our course on Udemy. I have a link to the course attached in the description below. Without further ado, let's get started. So this is the go chart on a 2 hours time frame. I'm going to try as much as possible to go as fast as I can. So this huge rejection here was, go tapping into the all-time highs, and now we seem to have, dropped hard like a rock, consolidating within this ascending channel. So quickly, this is a 2 hours time frame. I'm going to be watching out for a slight consolidation like this. So I'm going to watch out for some sort of consolidation like this, ranging around this support level, and then a bearish breakout for me to go short. So this is going to be my outlook to go short on gold. So it's just a no-brainer. There's nothing complicated about this chart, right? I know, yes, this looks bullish, but if we do get a bearish breakout from this support level, because we had two bounces, so 1, 2. So if we get a good breakout from this support level, also breaking this trend line, the bottom of the ascending channel, then I'm going to go short, aiming for lower price targets. And my first target is going to be around these lows here, while my second target is going to be around these lows here. So this is how I'm going to trade gold, right, going short, and my stop loss is just going to be above the consolidation that leads to the breakout. So that's how I trade for a tighter risk to reward ratio. Okay, so for a bullish case scenario, so the only way I'm going to go long on gold is if we get some sort of consolidation ranging all the way to these price levels without a heavy breakout going through the support level, and then we tap into this trend line with a very good bullish bounce, maybe with a bullish engulfing candle, or a very solid doji on the higher time frame, like 4 hours time frame. That will be a signal for me to go long, right? So if we also create highs leading to a breakout, that will also be another signal to go long. So something like this. So if we do get something like this and a breakout from a pattern like this after we get a bounce off of the bottom of the channel, that will be my scenario to go long, just like we did here. So last week we talked about how we would wait for go to consolidate like this and then give us that bearish breakout. So we did get exactly what we expected last week, which led to this massive bearish movement all the way down to this price level. So I think that's around 200 pips. So these are I trade to give me good risk to reward ratio, and if I go long here, my stop loss is just going to be below the consolidation that leads to the bullish breakout, or below the bullish engulfing candle that leads to the bullish move bouncing off the bottom of this channel. Where my take profit, first take profit is going to be around this level, then second take profit is going to be around this highs. That's if we indeed bounce off these the bottom of this channel. But for a sell trade opportunity, like I said earlier, I'm going to wait for a consolidation. So give me a minute. I'm going to wait for a good consolidation, right? So a good consolidation on the support level, and then a massive breakout, so a good candle breakout from that consolidation for me to go long. That's it briefly for gold. Moving on, we're going to be talking about EUR-USD. So major currency pairs having the US dollar as the quote currency had some massive bearish move last week. So this is what I'm going to be watching out for on EUR-USD. Really straightforward, right? So I'm going to wait for some slight consolidation, like a bearish continuation pattern. It could be a symmetrical triangle with a bearish breakout. It could be a descending triangle. It could be a bearish flag, right? So just any pattern signifying the continuation of this bearish movement is what I'm going to be watching out for to go short. So something like this. So a consolidation and a bearish breakout. So it could happen on any time frame, 1 hour, 30 minutes, but I wouldn't be going lower than 30 minutes time frame, right? But basically I will stick with the 1 hour time frame. So I'm going to go down to the 1 hour time frame real quick. So let's say this is a 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so I'm going to wait for that consolidation and a bearish breakout to go short. And my first target after that breakout is going to be around these lows. So give me a minute. Yeah, it's going to be around these lows. First target around these lows, second target around these lows, until we just keep taking the lows downward until we get a base where we eventually get a U-turn, selling price upwards. So for now, I wouldn't be looking for a bullish case scenario on EUR-USD because this chart looks bearish. So last week we talked about going short if we take out the support level, and we had a bearish breakout, a retest, small consolidation, and bam, to the downside. So this is a classic sell setup. So we just wait for a consolidation and a bearish breakout to go short. The reason we are waiting for this consolidation is we are close to this lows one, and we are currently oversold. So the consolidation will give us give the price room to breathe, so the market decides where to head next, if we're going to reverse all the way up or continue the bearish move. So this is what I'm going to be watching on EUR-USD. I wouldn't be, going long right now until I get a clear signal that we are going to be reversing. So for now, I'm bearish, and I'm going to wait for a consolidation like this, bearish breakout to go short, and these are going to be my targets. So moving on, we're going to talk about GBP-USD. So we had multiple bounce off this trend line. So we had 1, 2, 3, yeah, so 3, 4, 5, 6. So multiple bounce off this trend line, a small consolidation before we had this good breakout. So the same thing applies. So the same principle with EUR-USD. So I'm going to watch out for a consolidation right before a bearish breakout, just like we had here. But this was a very small one, right? So I'm going to wait for a pretty good consolidation here and a bearish breakout to go short, aiming for these lows here, right? And that will give us around, let's say, 90 pips, or let's say 80 pips. Good trade. And stop loss is going to be probably around 30 pips, because my stop loss is going to be above the consolidation that leads to the breakout. So this I'm going to trade GBP-USD. And when we get down to this support level, right, or this area of value, I'm going to wait for another consolidation and probably a bearish breakout to go even lower. But we might get a bounce from this area of value in continuation of this, bullish trend, because right now this trend still looks bullish, though we've had a break of this trend line. So not until we break this support level and confirm that level as a resistance level. So let's say getting a breakout and retesting it as a resistance level and falling down, this would be the confirmation of a change in the trend, right? But meanwhile, if we come down to this level and bounce up, it's simply just a continuation of the bullish trend. If you go down to the 4 hours time frame, for example. So I'm going to go down to the 4 hours time frame really quick. Yeah, so you can see this is still bullish. So even if we bounce off this level going higher, that still signifies a continuation of the trend. So that's it briefly for GBP-USD. If you want to learn these techniques, in a more professional level, check out our Forex trading course on Udemy. You're going to learn a lot from scratch, right? I have the link attached in the description below. Moving on, we're going to talk about CHF-JPY. So CHF-JPY, excuse me, I'm going to get up my list. So CHF-JPY, currently in the bullish trend, right? But this pattern here seems like a, trend reversal pattern. It doesn't look like a clean head and shoulder, but looks like a trend reversal pattern. We're just going to follow the price wherever it leads. So we had a top and we have something like an ascending triangle with a bearish breakout. So this bearish breakout sent price all the way back close to this area of value, right? So something I'm watching out for to go short would be waiting for a good consolidation, maybe a dump into this area of value, a consolidation around these price levels, and then a good bearish breakout. So if we get a breakout taking out this support level, then I'm going to consider going short. Otherwise, we might simply just get price ranging around this level, chopping the market, getting trades out of the market, right? Traders out of the market. So I wouldn't, play with this trade. So we might get choppy movement like this, just choppy movement till we come into this area. So it wouldn't be ideal to sell. But I believe if we get a consolidation here and a breakout, then that will be a heavy, price action to go short on CHF-JPY. So this is going to be my scenario to go short, consolidate a little, chopping downwards to this area of value. And by the time we break this area of value to the downside, that will be my scenario to go short. And my first target is going to be around these lows. Okay, so give me a minute. So my first target is going to be around this price level, because this is where we had our next. Oh, before here, we have something here, excuse me. So yeah, this is going to be our first target. So we had a triple top here. So this is going to be our first target. Then second target is going to be around these price levels. While for a long trade opportunity, this is going to be a little bit tricky, right? So long trade opportunity, I'm going to wait for price to come into this area of value, get a good candlestick bounce, right? And then a good breakout to go long. So something like this, taking these highs, right? So if we get a bounce off of this area of value, giving us a high and a break of that high, that'll be my scenario to go long, also breaking this trend line, right? Alternatively, if we don't get price coming to this area of value, I'm simply going to wait for price to, creep slowly upward, break through this mini resistance level, retest, then move up. So this is going to be another scenario to go long on CHF-JPY. Then my stop loss is going to be below the consolidation that leads to the breakout, or below the consolidation after the breakout. First take profits is going to be around its highs, then I'm going to trail the rest of my positions as the trade evolves. So that's it briefly for CHF-JPY. Moving on, we're going to talk about AUD-USD. So AUD-USD, we had 3 bounces off of these resistance levels. So 1, 2, 3, right? So we had a good bounce, and now we had a breakout from this trend line. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little. Mind you, this is a 2 hours time frame, and we had a breakout, and we had a small consolidation around this area of value because we had multiple price rejections. 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and down 5. So I'm going to wait for a consolidation, just as I talked about on EUR-USD. So a good consolidation, a bearish breakout. So the consolidation is going to be a sign of a continuation pattern. So the continuation of this massive bearish move and a bearish breakout from that consolidation is what I'm watching out for to go short on AUD-USD. I'm pretty bearish because I can't see any reason why I would want to go long here. Okay, so the only level we are going to consider going long is if we get into this area of value. So if we get into this area of value, I'm going to look for opportunities to go long, following a maybe a good bullish candlestick reversal pattern, like a bullish engulfing candle, for me to go long at this area of value. So I'm going to zoom out a little so clearly see what's around that price level. So this level is our area of value. We are going to look forward to, looking for an opportunity to go long, right? So that's it briefly for AUD-USD for now. Going back to this is a 2-hour time frame. So on the 1-hour time frame, I'm going to go down to the 1-hour time frame. So on the 1-hour time frame, I'm going to wait for a consolidation like this and a bearish breakup from that consolidation to go short. So meanwhile, I'm not looking for to go long right now because this is a bearish setup in my opinion. So moving on, we're going to talk about GBP-JPY really quick. So GBP-JPY chart looks bullish, 2 hours time frame, and we just bounced off of the oversold level, right? So I'm going to wait for, okay, we also bounced off of these highs here, right? So I'm going to wait for a consolidation. So a good consolidation around this price level, and then a bullish breakout, so taking out this trend line. So I know this price right now seems a bit far from the trend line, but I'm going to patiently wait for price to test the trend line. So just give me a minute. I'm going to wait for price to come all the way to this price level. I think we're going to see a price rejection, right? Then we're going to try again. So by the time we get a consolidation and a breakout, that will be my scenario to go long on GBP-JPY, and my stop loss is going to be below the consolidation that leads to the breakout. Take profit is going to be here. So first take profit target is going to be here, second one is going to be here, while we trade the rest of our positions if we still have any open left, right? The reason why I'm not going to go short right now is because the reason I'm not going to go long right now is because we have so much room between the trend line and this support level, right? So if we get a good, maybe a range, right, coming close to the end of this area of value, so give me a minute, coming close to the end of this area of value, then that gives us a tighter range to take a trade positions. So if we eventually get a breakout, then this would be my scenario to go long, aiming for higher price levels, where my stop loss is going to be maybe below the area of value or below the consolidation that leads to the breakout. But if you want to take a little bit of risk, you can do something like this. So you could wait for a consolidation like this, right, and then go long at a breakout of the mini resistance level that would be formed from that consolidation. So something like this. So we might also get something like this, right? So if this happens, then you can go long at the breakout of this consolidation to the upside. Your stop loss is going to be below the consolidation. Take profit is going to be these highs, and second one at these highs. So that's how I'm going to trade GBP-JPY. The only way I'm going to sell GBP-JPY is if we take out this area of value. So let's say we break out below and then we consolidate below this area of value and then get another bearish breakout. So this would be my scenario to go short on GBP-JPY. So just in case we get a candle break from this area of value, it doesn't mean the trend has been violated, right? It could simply mean a fake out in continuation of the trend. So I'm simply going to wait for a good breakout, a consolidation, kind of like a bearish continuation pattern, a bearish flag, and a breakout from that pattern for me to go short on GBP-JPY. Other than this, I'm just going to watch out for the bullish case scenario because this is a very strong bullish trend on GBP-JPY on the 2 hours time frame. Lastly, we're going to talk about EUR-GBP. So this is a 4 hours chart. You can see we had a trend line with multiple price, rejections. Then we finally had a breakout from this trend line, also taking out this solid support level. So I talked about how we could see a small, 30 to 40 pips reversal following a bullish divergence, and that played out exactly as expected. And now we got a bearish breakout breaking through this support level. So right now we seem to be retesting that level. So I'm going to watch out for a consolidation. Remember, I trade consolidations because consolidations are the deciding factors, when it comes to trying to determine the direction of the market, right, after a massive price movement. So we had a massive price movement, so it's logical to wait for a consolidation so the market create enough room to decide where they're going to head next or where it's going to head next. So it depends on who wins the battle between the bulls and the bears. So this is my brief outlook for this week. So I'm going to wait for a breakout from that consolidation, coupled with the fact that we just retested the support level to go short. So that's it brief for this week's analysis. If you love the content, please like, subscribe, and check out our course on Udemy. It's going to help you a lot. And lastly, if you're not on Discord, join our community on Discord. We have lots of great traders and you're going to learn a lot for free. It's totally free, okay? Use the link in the description below to join. Once again, guys, show me some love by subscribing and liking this video. That's it from me this week, guys. See you next week.